All right, shalom, shalom. This is T.O.Z. with another lesson. I want to give honor and glory to our Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is Karash with me.
Makazar.
So this lesson entitled Discipleship. So we're going to go through a little slides and, give a little example of what a disciple looks like in his walk. So no further ado, we're going to get right into it. You want to have anything to say, Makazar, before we go
on? It's just kind of like a blueprint of what a disciple or apostle is supposed to be. Following after the Messiah. And yes, we got some good knowledge and things that everybody can learn from and take notes, whether you just coming in the truth or you a seasoned brother. This is kind of geared toward the men, but sisters also can learn from it as well. But yeah, it's to build us up, and just to make sure we're on point as followers of Hamashiach. All right. So yeah, go ahead.
Come. All right. This is the first slide, and it says, "What does a disciple looks like?" As it states in Mark 8:34, and it says, "And when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Yeah, that's the very first point of becoming a disciple, is actually following Yahweh Shai, and leading his example, leading by his example. And saying, like in this illustration here, we see the pots, saying some are made perfectly. And, saying you see that one is not so perfect. But the Most High could use someone like that. And as we're going to illustrate and in the lesson, individuals that the Most High used that wasn't so perfect, but he were able to use them. And they were even confident within themselves. But so sometimes we get into this walk, we feel like we inadequate. We can't do what the Most High wants us to do, or we feel a certain way about ourselves. We feel that we don't have it within us to be disciples, to be leaders, to be heads of our households. But the Most High, we're going to use you anyway if you follow him.
Come on.
So to be used by the Most High, we have to establish this thing we call discipline. Saying you cannot be in this walk without a certain level of discipline. Being a disciplined man takes a lot of strength. So we're going to go into the definition of discipline. It says the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. The Most High has always corrected us through our disobedience through punishment. As you've seen in Deuteronomy 28, he used punishment for us to return unto him. And as he's constantly doing it right now, you see a lot of brothers suffering and through hardships, through pain and agony, you can see it right on TV, the constant killings of our brothers and sisters. So the Most High is not playing, but to avoid a lot of hardships in our life, we have to develop a certain level of discipline. So we're going to move on to the next slide. So Moses, we're going to highlight Moses real quick. And he was one of those pots that was made unperfect, that the Most High ultimately used for a big task ahead. He used Moses to deliver his people out of Egypt. So can you give me Exodus chapter 3? Start at 5.
It's the book of Exodus chapter 3, verse 5. It says, "And he said, Draw not nigh hither Put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground.
He said, you can't stand where he's standing because it's holy ground. So we can't bring in the old worldly stuff when we come up to the Most High. So that's kind of the illustration that's going on there. The Most High said, I'm not even going to talk to you. You got to take off them shoes. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a clean person. You know what I'm saying? You can't be coming in, stepping in the old world and coming, stepping in my place because it's a holy ground. Just like, right, when you become a disciple, you have to shed off the old man to even walk with the Most High. You can't bring in the past. You know, a lot of people make that mistake in this walk. They bring their past into the truth, and they can't mix. You know what I'm saying? Either you in or you out. You know what I'm saying? You got to make a decision. Keep going.
And it's like Salakia, like saying, like we use the analogy, like you bringing someone in your crib and you want them to take off their shoes. Mm-hmm. like I'm thinking about the movie Next Friday when what's his name, Uncle Elroy was like, put some paper down. You know, so you got to come in, you know what I'm saying? You got to take your shoes off, you know, the Most High, holy, you know, his presence, everything like that is clean, you know, it's pure. Right. So yeah, you're not trying to come in there dirtying up, you know, what he has that's clean and pure. But yeah, verse 6, moreover, he said, I am the Most High of thy father, the Most High of Abraham, the Most High of Isaac, and the Most High of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon the Most High. And the Most High said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows.
So he knows their sorrows, and this one he's appointing Moses. He's about to appoint Moses this job, you know, to go deliver his people. And you know, saying, and then we're gonna go to chapter 4, and we're gonna see how Moses, you know, saying we're gonna see how Moses stated to the Most High that he wasn't ready for this task. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna see how Most High ultimately uses him to deliver his people out of Egypt. Go to chapter 4, verse 10.
Okay. And Moses said unto the Most High, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither hereto therefore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue.
He said, I'm a slow of speech and a slow tongue. You know, he's saying he has no confidence in himself. Like, how can you use me? You know, saying I can't speak well. You know, saying, you know, he might have had a stuttering problem. You know, kind of like people with a slow tongue and a slow speech. You know, saying it's hard to, you know, get words out. You know, saying, but the Most High said, you know, we're gonna see what the Most High said. Keep continue.
And the Most High said unto him, who hath made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb or deaf, or the seeing or the blind? Have not I the Most High? Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say.
He said, I'm gonna teach you what to say. Don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of people struggle with in this walk that we walking with. We don't honestly believe that the Most High is gonna be behind us in all that we do. You know what I'm saying? Because when we're in this walk and we have jobs to do and we doing the work with for the Most High, he's gonna be with us in all that we do. So we gotta have that level of confidence that our faith, that's a better word, faith that the Most High is gonna be behind us in all that we do, just like he was with Moses. You know, Moses thought that somebody else should be in a better position to do the will of the Most High, but the Most High said, I want you. You know, sometimes we don't have that choice. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing he said, a lot are called, but few are chosen. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people that feel that they're in this, when they're in this walk, and you know they not in the spirit yet. You know, the Most High is working with you. He's like that clay that's unperfect, but you know, in time, through trial and error, and you know, really putting that work in, he's gonna make you into this perfect leader, or this perfect teacher, or this perfect husband, for so on. You know, another, we're going to illustrate John the Baptist. The reason why I want to illustrate John the Baptist is because this is a guy that knew that Yahushua was for a greater purpose. You know, he wasn't like a guy that, John the Baptist was a well-known minister throughout the land. You know, saying he was in the highways, the so-called like the highways and byways and the wilderness preaching the word of the Most High. But he knew that somebody's coming better that's going to, there's far greater a purpose than he. And he didn't have any pride. And he did what he was supposed to do for Yahushua to get him to where he needs to be to ultimately be for the greater good for Israel. Give me that now, Matthew 3.
All right, so this is the book of Matthew, chapter 3, verse 1. In those days came John the Baptist preaching in the wilderness of Judea and saying, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For this is he that was spoken of by the prophet Isaiah, saying, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make his path straight. And the same John had his raiment of camel's hair and a leathern girdle about his loins, and his meat was locusts and wild honey.
Okay, drop down to verse 7. Let's get to the point.
But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers, who have warned you to flee from the wrath to come?
See, that kind of illustrate the character of John the Baptist. He wasn't scared. You know, this was a strong, bold brother. And, saying he's warning the Pharisees and the Sadducees. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Bring forth, therefore, fruits meet for repentance, and think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that the Most High is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham.
So from there, we're going to drop down to get straight to the point. Verse 14.
Then cometh Yahushua from Galilee to Jordan unto John to be baptized of him. But John forbade him, saying, I have need to be baptized of thee, and comest thou to me? And Yahushua answering said unto him, suffer it to be so now, for thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness. Then he suffered him. And Yahushua, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water, and lo, the heavens were open unto him, and he saw the Spirit of the Most High descending like a dove and lightning upon him.
So, I just want to illustrate that John the Baptist, he said that I should be getting baptized by you. You know what I'm saying? He had that humble spirit about himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I do great works, but I know that you're far greater than I am. You have a far greater purpose. You know what I'm saying? That was what I wanted to illustrate. He wasn't on that prideful stuff. You know what I'm saying? He knew that this Yahushua is here to save Israel, and he had a mission to accomplish. So that's, I'll go straight to Yahushua, and right after he was baptized by John the Baptist, he went straight into the wilderness. And the wilderness was there to prepare him for his mission for the Most High was sending him on. So we can get that in Matthew 4. Start at the top.
Okay. Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
So Yahushua gets baptized, then he goes into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. So in all of these things about to illustrate how we have to be hardened. We have to endure, in this walk. It's not going to be easy. That's why he went to the wilderness to harden himself for what's at hand. it's going to be a far greater task from this wilderness trip that he's going through. He had fasted for 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness. He's hungry. He wants to eat. But, then the devils appear, tempting him, just like this walk. We get tempted, we get hardened, saying sometimes we don't want to, bring the word out. Sometimes we feel like we lose the spirit, and this is the things that the Most High is illustrating here, is that you're going to go through things just like he went through things. And we're going to, go through things that he, go over the things that he went through. I start at verse 2.
And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. And when the temperer came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. The devil's going to come at your weakness. Saying he said he was hungry. So the devil brought some bread. Keep going.
But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High.
Go ahead.
Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and sitteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Keep going.
Yahushua said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy power. Again, the devil taketh him up unto an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
Saying we see all that stuff that's going on now. A lot of people want to get the glories of this world and worship Satan. Saying, see a lot of people right now in the entertainment business is falling by their weight, on their knees and worshiping Satan and signing their souls away. Saying? It's a clear illustration how Satan is coming and running rampant in this world today. Do the same things that Yahushua was tempted with. Keep going.
Yeah, that's why the Lord said, either you're going to serve the Most High or serve Mammon. You know what I'm saying? Because that's pretty much the war right now, is a lot of people, either they going to sell out, and go to the left-hand side, which is Satan, and, get the riches of this world, or they're going to, endure and be on the right-hand side, and they're going to wait and face tribulation for their reward, which is, the kingdom. But also, I just wanted to highlight back in verse 4, when he was saying that, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. So, when we go through temptations and things like that, the best thing to do is go to the word. You know what I'm saying? That's our weapon. That's what we say in Ephesians, the 6th chapter. You know what I'm saying? That the word is our sword. You know what I'm saying? So to fight those, the temptation, fight, those things like the demons coming at, the spiritual warfare, things like that. We always have to use the word as our weapon, just like Hamashiach did. But verse 10, it says, then saith Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Most High thy power, and him alone shalt thou serve. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. Now when Yahushua had heard that John was cast into prison, he departed into Galilee.
Now we're going to go straight to 17.
Okay. From that time, Yahushua began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Okay, and and from there on, 18, and he said, saying Jesus walking by the sea of Galilee and saw two brethren, and Simon Peter and Andrew his brother casting nets into the sea, for there was fishers. And he saith unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Said this is when he's starting his ministry. He's starting to gather the 12 his 12 disciples. So in that point on, all that he went through was, hardening him and preparing him for the task at hand. So we're gonna go to the next slide. And this is, actually, this is the transformation and making the Most High your priority. At this point now, if you're just getting in the truth or you've been in the truth, but now the Most High has to be priority. He can't take a back seat, especially after you and got this word in you. You wake up and knowing that you're an Israelite and the Most High is calling for work. It's calling for work for his disciples. That's what we are. We servants, for the Most High. So we got a job to do. Just like with your household, you got to work. You got to provide for your household. Just like the Most High, we got to work and we got to give all thanks and glory unto Him. And we got, our job is to wake other people up, His elect. And until He comes, we still got to work. We got to keep our hand to the plow. Let's get that in Mark 8:34-38.
That's the book of Mark, chapter 8. 8:34. And when he had called the people unto him with his disciples, also he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me.
He said, deny yourself. Just like the brother stated earlier, when you're getting tempted, you have to deny your temptation. I know it's a hard task to do. You have to deny your temptation and you have to take it up with the Most High. I know a lot of us suffer from it. It's called that sin, that lust, that whatever it is that you battle with, you have to deny it, so you have to shed it off and keep walking, keep going.
For whosoever will save his life and shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it.
You shall save your life. Because the Most High, He sees that you're doing the work, and if you lose your life doing it, you gotta, He sees that's honorable in his eyes, that you loved it that much to even die for this truth. Just like Paul, he died for this truth. He was beheaded, but he was faithful until his end. Keep going.
For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
What's profited to gain the world and lose your soul? The whole task is to get to the kingdom. This world is temporary. This life that we is temporary, but we don't want to have a whole eternal life in hell. Burning up. So we got a whole, this temporary fleshly life we live is very temporary. But the Most High said, what shall a man, what did He say? What shall it profit a man if he shall gain the world and lose his own soul? I don't want to lose my soul. That's a hell of a thing to lose. So go to Matthew 6:33.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. But seek ye the kingdom of the Most High and His righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you.
Right. And all things shall be added unto you. Whatever if you genuinely seek in the Most High and better in His kingdom, whatever you ask for, He will add on to you. He see your good works. Whatever you ask in His name, He will give to you. But first, you have to seek Him first. You can't you can't be, asking in vainly, and he doesn't see your works. He doesn't see your heart changing. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't see you growing. He doesn't see that you really genuinely love him and you asking all things on him. And he will really give you all. But he also can take away too. You know what I'm saying? He can take away just as much as he gives. You know what I'm saying? So you think people think they can trick the Most High. He's not Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't work that way. You're not gonna be good for a minute till you get what you want, and then you go backsliding. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I got what I want. I can just be worldly now until I need him again. He's not a genie. You know what I'm saying? He's not somebody you can rub, on the side real quick, and he'll pop out and say, how many wishes you need? What do you need now? You know what I'm saying? He doesn't work that way. So
I got a precept real quick. This is Psalms 37:4. It says, delight thyself also on the Most High, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. So yeah, delight yourselves in the Most High, and he'll give you the desires of your heart. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much seeking the kingdom, seeking obeying the Most High, doing what he says, and he'll bless you, whatever you're going through, whatever situation. All right.
Give me Proverbs 3:5. We just illustrating, saying the transformation. These are the things that, you put up and, saying it's like a reference, saying if you coming across, feel a certain way, these are for you for like a reference, saying you go into the Bible and like the brother said earlier, you feel a certain way, saying, hey, you need help seeking the kingdom. You need help trusting in the Lord. Saying sometimes we don't trust. Most people have a problem trusting. We question the Most High sometimes. So, saying these are the things you can, come to and get answers for. Proverbs 3, start at 5.
Trust in the Most High with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
A lot of us do that. We lean on our own understandings of things, but we don't come to the Most High and lean onto him to get deeper spiritual understandings. Saying some things might look a certain way on a worldly stage, but when you go into the scriptures and leaning on understanding them spiritually, saying it makes better sense. Say you can see it on the spiritual realm because everything is spiritual. This whole world is spiritual. Saying, but when we live our life through the flesh, so sometimes we can't see through the spirit, and sometimes when brothers say, "Oh, I got to keep the spirit," because they can feel themselves losing themselves in that moment or in the time, like, oh, I gotta back because I'm losing the spirit. But since this the word said, well, with all thy heart and lean not on your own understanding. Right? Keep going.
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path.
God, what I'm saying? He shall direct your path. And that's what we need to have all trust in the Most High, because he's definitely here when you wake up, and it's truth. He's directing your path. He's using you as a vessel, to wake up the elect, or to be a better father, or to be a better mother, or whatever that you are in this walk with him. We all serve a greater purpose. You should have a greater purpose coming to this truth. You should not be the same person. So, and whatever he has you do, saying you have to trust into the Lord, just like with Moses, saying he didn't trust in the Lord, but Most High said, hey, I got you. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there through your speech. Saying, just do what I asked you to do. Saying? So we got to have that type of trust and faith in the Most High. So go verse 7.
Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Most High and depart from evil.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that we got to do. Don't be wise in your own eyes, because we don't have all the answers, that we think we do, because we're sinful people. We can't, we can't do it alone. We have to have our Father to be there with us, because through him we can depart from evil. And show what Yahushua, when he was fasting 40 days and 40 nights, who he called on? He called on his Father. You know what I'm saying? He called on his Father. He knew, hey, man can't eat on bread alone, but the word of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So that's it illustrating the trust in the Lord. He had trust in his Father in those times. Okay? So we're gonna see, faith. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna, get a little scripture in faith. Give me Hebrews 11:16.
And it's the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 6. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is he, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
That's that faith. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible to please him if you ain't trusting him. You don't have faith in him. He not dealing with people that's not going to trust him, because he said, I'm not here to harm you. The Most High is not here to put any harm your way. All he's here to ask is for your obedience. That's it. And that's the thing that our people failed to do for so many generations, is put all our faith in the Most High, walk with him, and keep his statute, laws, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? And he says he is the rewarder of them that seek him diligently. That's it, and that's all. So we're going to move on to Luke 14:26.
Wait, Salakia.
Okay.
I had one more precept. This is Sirach, chapter 25:12. It says, the fear of the Most High is the beginning of his love. Okay, and what's the fear of the Most High? We know that the fear is keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. So, and like the scriptures say, this is the love of the Most High, that keeping his commandments and they're not grievous. So, and it says, and faith is the beginning of cleaving unto him. So that's how you get closer to the Most High, is by having that faith in him. Okay, and what these people don't understand is you show your faith by doing what the Most High says to do. So if you have faith, you're going to keep the commandments, you're going to keep the feast days. Okay, like, again, these Christians, they just like the scriptures say, don't let us not love in word, but in deed and in truth. The Most High doesn't want to hear your mouth, oh, I love God all day, and you keep no commandments. You know what I'm saying? That's lack of faith.
Right.
Because you worshiping, pretty much you worshiping Satan now, because you working on that side, and you're not working on the right hand side with the Most High. So that's how you show your faith and your obedience to him. But what was you said Luke
14:26. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Either you're on the side of the Most High, or you working with the devil. We all know we've been on that side. Ain't nobody blameless in this world. We all sinful people. And before we were ignorant. We were ignorant of the fact that who we thought we were serving, we really wasn't serving. That's the crazy part. We were serving ourselves, masking and saying that we love the Most High, but we actually were just loving what we called our life, and we were doing everything that we wanted to do, and not knowing that. Somewhat we were ignorant. Most High winks at our ignorance. A lot of us was in the Christian church, and they didn't tell us about keeping statute, laws, and commandments. They didn't teach us a lot of things about feast days and whatever. But now that you can't look back.
Let me see. Luke 14:26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life, also he cannot be my disciple.
And it's not a literal hate. Not
Yeah,
like it's not like a literal, oh, you gotta hate your family. He said you gotta have a level of love for him, that all these people that I just named is not gonna stop you from walking with me. That's what he's saying. He said you should have a greater love for me. If those people walk out of your life, you still walk with me. That's all it's saying. It's not saying that, oh, you got to hate them. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a level of that much love for him to walk and keep his commandments and still do what he tells you to do, regardless if your brothers, your sisters, your father, your mother disagree with it. And a lot of us going to have family that's going to disagree what you're doing now. You woke up to keeping these statute laws and commandments, that you're a Hebrew Israelite and all these things. That's what he's saying right there. That's all he's saying. You should love me that much. If these people that you love, we all love our parents, we all love our children, whatever. If they choose to walk away because you're walking this walk, it shouldn't stop you. That's all it's saying. Got something to add on that?
Nah, that was good. Good. Yeah, you brought it out.
Give me Romans 12, and start up at the top.
That's the book of Romans, chapter 12 and 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is the good and acceptable, what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
Like you say, you have to, your body's as a living sacrifice. So you have to do all for the Most High, all that you can, So that's what he's requiring. That's pretty much a nutshell of being a disciple of the Most High. You got to have your body as a living sacrifice. If you're putting drugs and other impure things in your body, and you're not being a great sacrifice unto the Lord, he can't use you. You're not being a great vessel to be used. And you have to be renewed by the renewing of your mind. Therefore, when they say your mind, your heart got to change. Your heart got to change from the world to walk with the Most High. That's what he's saying. Not literally. Your mind is, he is synonymous to the heart. If your heart not changed, you're still worldly. Most High can't use you. What I'm saying? You're not a living sacrifice and honorable, acceptable to the Most High. And pretty much you're not going to be getting used for the Most High. So you got to check yourself when you make this walk. You have to shut off the old man. You have to be a sacrifice. And there's a lot of prophets that were sacrificed for the Most High too, for this work. Just because you get into this walk, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be persecuted just like Yahushua. Just like all the other prophets that came before us.
It's just like we brought out for the Feast of Dedication, you know what I'm saying? Like now, we're the temple, you know what I'm saying? Our bodies are that temple. So we sacrificing ourselves daily because we no longer sacrifice. So what's the sacrifice going to be? It's going to be yourself now. So you're going to put yourself on the altar, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to offer yourself up to the Most High and make sure you're acceptable. Like I said, what's the will? Doing what he, obedience, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing now is being that sacrifice. We're sacrificing ourselves, even if we have to sacrifice our very lives, for the Most High. That's what it may come down to, but that's our position as being disciples of Hamashiach. All right.
So, with that being said, we showed you the transformation and making the Most High your priority, the things that you must do. But this is now the application of it. Saying the application of the word. It's like now you have to do. What are you gonna do with the word and the knowledge that you gain through scriptures? Now you can't just be the hearers of the word. You got to be doers. Give me James 1, starting at 22.
It's the book of James, chapter 1, verses 22. But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For
Saying that, you deceive your own self when you just be hearers of the words and not doing it. The Most High said, I'll give you the knowledge, but, I need you to do something with it. Keep going.
For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, it is like unto him, unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was.
If you ever looked through a glass and you look through it, you can't see very well. Then your vision is distorted. That's what the Most High is saying. Like, it's you can't even see yourself. What I'm saying? You're doing one thing. I mean, you're saying one thing and you're doing another. And then from the outside looking in, people will be like, "What are you?" What I'm saying? I don't understand what you are. Are you for the Most High, or are you still in the world? What I'm saying? So people got to see clearly what kind of walk are you walking. Keep going.
But whosoever looketh into the perfect law of liberty and continue therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. If any man among you seem to be religious and brideth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain.
Keep going.
Pure religion and undefiled before the Most High and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world.
And that's a hard task. You could keep unspotted from the world, because the world is constantly looking. People that you might not know is looking. So that's the whole illustration of applying what you learn from the scriptures. And it's very vital, because you can detour someone by the way you act, not by what you say. Because most people say, "Hey, I don't care about what you say. I just care about what you do," because that speaks louder than words. That's what the Most High is saying right now. I'm saying, whatever you do means greater than what you say. I can quote 5 different verses and know the Bible front and back, but if I don't keep the law and I don't do anything that it says, it means anything. It means nothing. What I'm saying? If the whole walk we're walking right now is not our own walk. We supposed to show ourselves approved, but we also are the only God that most people see. What I'm saying? Most people see us. Most people see Yahushua through us. Like, oh, he's a spiritual dude. I like his walk. What I'm saying? Something's about him. He's different. I want to know. I want to investigate why this brother is like that, or this sister is like that. Do how you act and how you carry yourself. So you can't be doers of the word, hearers of the word. You got to be a doer of the word. And the only way you're gonna do the word is by living the correct examples of a disciple. Right? So we're gonna go 1 Timothy, start at 4. 1 Timothy 4, start at 14.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4 and 14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, which the laying on of the hands of the presbytery meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all.
Yeah.
Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
Yeah. Say that exactly. For them that hear thee. So you're gonna save yourself, but ultimately when you preaching his word, you're gonna save others too. Because saying we here to not diminish the light. We're here to be the light. We're here to illuminate the Most High's word. By the way we walk, the way we talk. Because like I said earlier, you don't know who's listening to you. We don't know who's gonna who need this wisdom, but we're here to give it to them. And you have to do that full force. You can't let whatever the Most High gives you, the gifts that he gives you, you can't keep it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because Yahweh Shai, he wasn't stingy. He was there for everyone that wanted to hear the word. But first and foremost, he was there for the Israelites so they can be saved. Because they was going off. That's another lesson. But yeah, we can go into that. But we're gonna keep on with the application of the word. Just give me Ephesians 5 and start at 21.
God, it's the book of Ephesians chapter 5, verses, you said, did you want 8?
Yeah. 5 and 8.
For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the world. Walk as children of the light, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord.
Come. Yeah. Like you said, we the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord. Like it says that we are the light that, that walks as children. We're the light. We, like I said earlier, we illuminate the Most High. The Most High uses people. And he using his children. And, like you see this great awakening of us coming into who we are. We come into our nationality, whatever. That's a light that the Most High is illuminating right now. It was a big surge of everybody waking up. We're in we all over now. You see YouTube, and hey, you can't go on a corner now that you'll see an Israelite. You see fringes walking around the streets. So yeah, we've been illuminated for his greater purpose. Keep going. Verse 11.
And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them.
Right, but reprove them. We got to be correcting them. And then, and when you correct those that's in the dark, saying it might get a little backlash, but you're still there to reprove them, to give them answers, and sometimes that's just the beginning of waking up. Sometimes you might see that person that you told the truth about and he rebelled against. You might see him, maybe 2 or 3 years later, he walking around with fringes on. You know what I'm saying? Because you put that reproof in him, because basically you planted the seed. Now he's thinking. Sometimes it may hit people later. And like with me, I started at 11 years old, somebody planted the seed. And I ain't come back to it until I was damn near 30 something. So you don't know when it's going to hit. The Most High is using us for time for people to wake up in their season. So now give me Ephesians 5 and start at 21.
Submitting yourself one to another in the fear of the Most High. Wives, submit yourself unto your own husband as unto the Lord.
We were generally speaking about men, but also we got to speak about the women. And it says, submitting yourself one to another, fear the Lord, fear God. And it says, wives, submit your husbands unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. And that's a touchy subject in itself. Saying the women have to honor your husband as if he's Lord. he's the Godhead of your life. You know, he's not to be as equal with you. You know, he's there to be your head, to guide you, and whatever he say, it goes. You know, because whatever, you're not going to question the Most High. You know, you're not going to question if the Most High wants to do something. You're not going to say, I ain't going to listen to you. You know, he is your Godhead. Keep going.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body.
You know, that's the correct order. You know, and the Most High deals with order. You know what I'm saying? And it's the application of the walk with the Most High. And that's a key role for our women. You know, you have to submit unto your husband. I know it sounds bad living out of this European style of life. You know, submitting seemed like weakness. Submitting seemed like powerless. You know, we have this whole feminist movement, Me Too movement. I mean, all these things that women want to feel like they're equal unto the man and they can do better unto the man. And I'm not saying that women are supposed to be, you know, walking hand and feet up after a man, but if you have a husband, yes, he has all authority over you. And, you know, saying you submit unto him like the Lord. And that's what the Bible said. You know, I'm not trying to say that because I'm a man and that's what I want, but that's what the Bible says. Now keep going.
Okay.
Got precept.
Yeah, I had a quick precept. Yeah, but this from Clement. We'll get into this a little bit more, but to back up with that is this First Clement to the Corinthians chapter 1, and I'm gonna just get to the point. Verse 6: Ye commanded the young men to think those things that were modest and grave. The women ye exhorted to do all things with an unblameable and seemly and pure conscience, loving their own husbands as was fitting, and that keeping themselves within the bounds of a due obedience, they should order their houses gravely with all discretion. So yeah, so just confirming what is being said here by Paul is because Clement he quoted a lot from Paul, so he was basically just saying the same thing, that the women loving their own husbands as was fitting, and that they keep themselves with bounds of due obedience. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of people, again, you know, like brother was bringing out, you know, this European or this Western world is not, you know, up for that. You know, they want it to be chaos. They want it to be equal. You know what I'm saying? If not having the woman over the man, it's either, it's an equal playing field, and it's just not, there's no order going around.
Oh.
All right. But back in Ephesians,
start at 25.
25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Hamashiach also loved the church.
It's like it. Go to 24.
24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Hamashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Everything. Not some things, but everything. You know, you can't pick and choose when you have a husband. You know, you have to be in subjection and everything, just like we're in the subjection of Christ. You know, we can't pick and choose how we're going to walk, when we're going to walk with the Christ. You know what I'm saying? He tell us to go to camp and bring it out and get the elite. Tell us to do lessons and be heads over our households. You can't go against that. And just like the wives, you have to be their own husbands in everything. You can't pick and choose, ladies. You know, it is what, you know, it is what the Most High said. You can't pick and choose how you're gonna love your husband. You know, you can't tell him, oh, I ain't gonna do that, or I don't want to feel like it. You do. You know what I'm saying? You can't have that attitude. You have to be submitting unto your husband. You know, if you want to have a great biblical marriage, you know, we're gonna say biblical marriage, because out here There's all kind of marriages in the world. There's all kind of things you implement in marriage. It's not fitting unto the Lord, but a biblical marriage, saying, I'm speaking to the woman now, the next verse, is for the men. But for the women, you have to submit unto your husband in everything. You got to let that sit into your spirit, man. Everything. You can't pick and choose. Once again, a lot of these women get into these marriages and they pick, oh, I'm not going to serve my man. I'm not going to, give him what he wants unless I get what I want. No, it doesn't work like that. That's not how marriages work, a biblical marriage, if that's what you want. Verse 25.
Husbands, love your wives, even as Hamashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it.
Come on.
Yeah.
So the man, we have to love our wives just like the Christ loved the church and gave his life for it. So we have to love our women to the death, protect them, protect the family. A man has a job to do, provide. I'm not just getting on the woman, I'm getting on the man too. The man has a far greater job than the woman. He said just husbands, love your wives. And the wife just have to submit to the husband. We have to actually love you. When you love someone, just like Christ loved your church, and the church did him dirty, saying the church gave him up.
Uh-huh.
The church gave him up to be killed. And that's how much love we have to have onto our wives. Knowing that it might not seem right, we still got to love them. You still got to, show love and provide for your wife. That's what you ordered to do from the Most High. And it's a lot of strength to love someone that strongly. Because a lot of people get to a point where, she's not doing what I want her to do. I'm just going to, give her away. No, you can't do that, brothers. You married that woman. You said you committed yourself with her. You married her. Hey, you gotta ride it out.
Yeah.
And you gotta be be the head of the household. You got to minister unto her, help her understand, to make her understand how she should be the correct wife. Because you think about it, a lot of these women don't know how to be wives fully. A lot of them don't have that mentorship, that how to be a correct wife. And it takes a lot of work from the men to show these women how to correctly love their husband, love you. So we got a far greater job.
Uh-huh. And it's like, yeah, it shouldn't be, men in the truth, carrying on and, like the scriptures say, loving their wives. They shouldn't be carrying on like they were in the world, or like Jake in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like verbal abuse, things like physical, I shouldn't be hearing that
Right.
by brothers in the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, like they, like they still in the world, basically. You know what I'm saying? And they on the street talking about, Christ, Christ and all of this, but you at home, being contrary to what we just read in Ephesians. You know what I'm saying? So even like the brother saying, a lot of women, because whatever a lot of sisters have grew up with, whatever they dealt with in their before they came in the truth, it's hard to, whether they didn't have a father in the home or no one was teaching them how to be a righteous sister. But then on top of that, instead of helping them, and showing them and trying to guide them into righteousness or how to be a better woman, better wife, you bringing them down extra, and they supposed to be putting their trust in you by a man that's, supposed to be in the word. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why this is a good lesson, because it will make brothers, am I a disciple or am I a wicked nigga? You know what I'm saying? So that's what it come down to. But I mean, we all can, like I said, we can all learn from this. But that was just a quick point.
Yeah, and then quickly what you brought out, like, hey, you can't be beating your wives. That's another thing coming into the wife. Most High wasn't beating on his disciples.
Yeah.
The Most High wasn't beating on his followers. As men, we have to be stronger than that. You have to be more disciplined in that as a man. You shouldn't be able to put your hands on your wife. You can't call yourself as being a follower of Christ and then go home and beat the heck out of your wife. That's contrary to what the Most High is saying, even in this verse. You see, you gotta love your wife as you love the church. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta love your wife even more than yourself sometimes. Pretty much all the time. So beating on your wife, like you said, verbal abuse, has no room in this walk. And and people find that out, and you see a lot of women just get discouraged and even wanting to be with an Israelite man. If they be like, oh, I don't even want to be with you, all they do is have this high mighty attitude about themselves, and he cusses me out, he called me all kind of words. Hey, it's not befitting in this truth to be like that. Because you're gonna have your wife go back into the world, and that's not what the Most High will want. So from there, give me Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 5.
Okay, that's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and 5. It says, "For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in."
Yeah, the spirit of discipline, and like we said, like we was bringing up, we gotta have discipline, and it will flee deceit. If you're so disciplined in His Word constantly, the deceitful things that might come into your mind and your heart would it will flee. You know what I'm saying? And understanding and would not abide when unrighteousness come in. So you'll be so filled with the Spirit. When unrighteousness come to your door or your heart or your mind, you're able to shut it off. And that's a hard task to do, especially being a man. You fight demons all the time. You fight wickedness that's trying to come in, especially if you're a husband and you have a family. It's coming your door. That's the first thing that the devil, the tempter, coming at you. It's going to try you because he doesn't want to see a righteous family, a righteous man, over his children and his wife, and in his truth, speaking, and keeping the statutes, laws, and commandments. If he can come after the man, he can destroy the family. If he can destroy the man, he destroy the family. Because now the woman don't have a head. The woman don't have no one to guide her or protect her children or protect her. So if you're a man in his truth, you gotta be in His Word, man, all the time, and know when and be building up in the Spirit. So things that's gonna come and tempt you and trying to throw you off your path, you have to be ready for it. You'll make yourself ready if you stay in this truth, and you have brothers with you that can hold you accountable. And that could be another lesson in itself, accountability through elders and friendship and the truth. Give me 6 and 11.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 11. "Wherefore set your affections upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her. She preventeth them that desire her, and making herself first known unto them. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors."
And I like what it says that whosoever seeketh early, and he's talking about this word, he seeketh early shall not have great travail. A lot of us said, man, I wish I got in this truth a long time ago. I know I wish I would have had this wisdom a long time ago, because there's a lot of stuff we could have avoided out of our life. I know I felt that way. Like, dang, if I was, taught right, I would have avoided a lot of heartaches and a lot of mistakes that I made in my life. Keep going.
To think there Therefore, upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking as such as are worthy of her, showing herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love, and love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
Keep going to the last one.
And incorruption maketh us near unto the Most High.
That's it in a nutshell. You know, it says, giving heed unto her laws is assurance is corruption. It said, if you do these laws, you keep it, you know, diligently, you avoid incorruption. You avoid being gathered, you know, consumed by the world. If you diligently keeping these laws, and the incorruption make it nearer to the Most High. That's the whole goal, is to get nearer to the Most High.
That's why, therefore, it says, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. Because Solomon wrote this, and the Most High blessed him with everything. Because why? Because he asked for wisdom. That's how he got everything. He got wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's what he prayed for. Once he got that, everything, he got, you know, his wives and everything like that. But then that's when he kind of slipped. But outside of that, he had the 40 years of peace. You know what I'm saying? He had the kingdom. You know, that's how it's going to be. Or our kingdom, you know, under Mashiach is going to be a peaceful kingdom, but it's going to be a forever. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what he asked for, was wisdom. Mm-hmm. So to know right from wrong, to know the judgments, and to know all of those things.
You know, see, you know, the next slide is be a holy vessel. So, you know, you have to be a person that the Most High can be used, like I stated earlier. And we're going to show you illustrating that in these couple of verses. We're going to go a couple scriptures in Luke. I'm not going to bring out all of them, but we go to Luke chapter 5, verse 1.
This is the book of Luke chapter 5 and 1. And it came to pass that as the people pressed upon him to hear the word of the Most High, he stood by the lake of Gennesaret and saw two ships standing by the lake, but the fishermen were gone out of them and were washing their nets. And he entered into one of the ships, which was Simon's, and prayed him that he would thrust out a little from the land. And he sat down and taught the people out of the ship. Now, when he had left speaking, he said unto Simon, launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a drought. And Simon answering said unto him, Master, we have toiled all the night and have taken nothing. Nevertheless, at thy word, I will let down the net. And when they had this done, they enclosed a great multitude of fishes, and their net brake. And they beckoned unto their partners, which were in the other ship, that they should come and help them. And they came and filled both the ships, so that they began to sink.
So keep going.
When Simon Peter saw, he fell down at Yahushua's knees, saying, Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord. For he was
he said, Depart from me. He saw how great the Most High was, and he said, I can't even be in your presence. You know, if you're doing all these things, you're showing that you're the Son of Man. I can't even be in your presence. And most of us feel that way. We feel like we've been so sinful in our life that we can't even be in the presence of the Most High. We feel ashamed, you know, because a lot of us feel that guilt that, you know, what you did, what you did until the Most High saw what you did, and watch what happens. Keep going.
For he was astonished, and at that and all that were with him at the draught of the fishes which they had taken, and so was also James and John and the son of Zebedee, which were partners with Simon. And Yahushua said unto Simon, Fear not, from henceforth thou shalt catch men. And when they had brought their ships to land, they forsook all and followed him.
That was it. That's all they had to see. That's all they had to see. Like, okay, cool. This dude is the real deal. I'm going to throw everything and I'm going to follow him. That's the attitude that the Most High wants from us. And, and most of people, hey, he ain't real. But, all the stuff that you asked the Most High for, he gave it to you, even though that you didn't deserve it. These guys didn't, probably didn't deserve to get all that fish. But he said, I'm going to give it to him anyway. So they can see what kind of miraculous signs or who I'm really dealing with. So they said, hey, you did all this, man. You the real deal. I'm gonna forsake everything. I'm gonna follow you. So that means they dropped everything, left their families, left all that just to follow this Yahushua. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to that scripture saying, if you don't love me more than your mom, your father, your kids, and all that, you can't be my disciple. That's the attitude that he wanted. You dropped everything to follow me. So give me Luke 9:57.
This is the book of chapter Luke. This is Luke chapter 9, verse 57. And it came to pass that as they went into the way, a certain man said unto him, Lord, I will follow thee whatsoever thou goest. And Yahushua said unto him, Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have not where to lay his head. And he said unto another, Follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. Yahushua said unto him, Let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of the Most High. And another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. And Yahushua said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High.
You're not fit. Like, everybody get into this truth and say, and go back to the world, you're not fit. You said, hey, let the dead bury the dead. Come follow me. It's not going to benefit you. Where I'm leading you is going to be far greater. I got something for you. So that's once again, that's being a vessel with the Most High. It's saying that I'm going to go follow you no matter what. I don't got time for the worldly stuff and the old people in the world. I can't worry about that. All that stuff is over with. This is a new walk. This is an edification. It's a confirmation of his truth, by us putting this lesson together. And I hope it's a reference. I hope it helps someone out. You might be in this situation right now where you're teeter-tottering between your friends, your family, whatever, or walking with the Most High. So it's an all-in thing. You can't be, saying you can't be hot or cold. You gotta be hot for the Most High. You gotta choose him. In all that you do, because the Most High say he's not looking for those that's looking back. He's looking for those that going straight into the path of the Most High. The walk with the Most High.
And like I always like to say that, there's nothing really out there, for us. So once you get in this truth, that there's nothing else in this world. That's why it boggles me when you got men that or women that claim they was in the truth and now this is not the truth or whatever it is. And it's like, well, you can't go back to the world and Christianity is false, all these religions are false. So what are you going to do? You're just going to be an atheist now? Okay, because even if you do claim to keep something, you just like, okay, I'm not with the Israelite movement or whatever the case is, which you can't really leave this because it's a nationality first and foremost. It's not a religion. It's though, people want to say it's a religion or something like that, but it's not that. You know what I'm saying? Because the scriptures are saying what it's saying. It said we would lose our heritage, we would remember ourselves in these last days. So that's no religion. That's no man started this truth. It was the spirit of the Most High that was put on us to wake up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, putting your hand in the plow and thinking that there's something better out there other than, committing and like I said right there, commit to be all in. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else out there. And that's what you would understand when you come in this truth. You will understand that, yeah, this world is temporary, but we seek in the world to come. You know?
Yeah, greatly said. Greatly said. Let's get into Philippians 2 and start at verse 2.
This is the book of Philippians chapter 2 and 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
One accord, one mind. We all have the same goal, is to get to the kingdom. And we have the same goal of keeping his statute, laws, and commandments until we get to the kingdom. We have to be all one-minded, like-minded. So, that's one requirement you got to have to be in a holy vessel of the Most High. Keep going.
Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let us esteem other better than themselves.
Right. We in this walk, you got to love your brothers like you love yourself, and, that's a part of it. We can't do anything in vainglory and have that boastful spirit. There has no room in this walk. You know what I'm saying? And from there, just drop down to verse 12.
Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
We don't, we don't have him to walk with us anymore. He set his examples. He sent his 12 disciples out there to spread the gospel. But now we have to, we still got work to do. Like he said right there, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You know what I'm saying? In his absence. So we got to keep that fear of the Most High. That if we go outside of that, we're going to suffer the consequences. But we got to do it joyfully. It's not a thing that we should be scared about. It's not that type of fear. It's not a scared fear. It's just that we got to do it with urgency, and we got to do it willfully. We got to do it willfully. It's not grievous to do this, to walk this walk and please the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So, you got anything else to add?
Nah, Connor. Yeah. So, we could do a volume 2.
Volume 2.
Yeah, we'll just stop it there.